now. Yes, sir. Yeah, I'm here. I'm at the top now, so I'm ready for Marlon Tapales. I'm coming for him guns blazing. So I want him, and I want him at Wollongong.
The boss is beside you. What does he say?
I think we're trying to bring him there, aren't we?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm that proud of Semi today. What he achieved today. I honestly thought that Ra'eese Aleem was, one of the better guys in the division. I think that he'd win that world title opportunity if it came. And I thought if Sam could do what he did today, then that shows that he's ready to take that title too. And if we're going to do it, let's do it here.
Yeah, well, I was listening to everyone before it. All the commentators. They weren't too sure I was at that level. There was a lot of people that doubted me, and it fueled me. I know how good I am, and I showed glimpses of it today. I know I'm at that level. I'm ready to beat world champions, and I'm going to do it. There's no two ways about it. Marlon Tapales, I beat him every day of the week.
Just on the cut, when you started to feel the blood run down, you sort of picked up the pace and sort of put on a bit of pressure. Did you want to, in case something went wrong, did you want to sort of apply pressure and press the fight harder?
It was nothing really to do with the cut, to be honest. It was just the way we knew the fight had to go. Early on, I knew he was going to do a lot of crazy and erratic stuff, swing wild, swing hard, and I had to be wary of it. He's a good fighter, and like he said, all the top fighters of this division, they didn't want to fight him. They didn't want this fight. He was an avoided fighter. So people were worried about this fight. I welcomed the challenge. So there was no two ways about it. I thought I was going to do a job on him, but I knew there was a process to do that. I knew early on I'd have to be smart. I'd have to be switched on. Not take too many silly chances against him, and then later on in the fight, back that I'm a 12-round fighter. I'm a warrior. I can push the pace. As the fight goes on, and that's what I done, and he folded.
Listen, Andrew, looking at that fight, it was very much you sort of controlling the fight from the outside, choosing your moments, sticking and moving, while he was definitely trying to work from the inside. Is that roughly what you expected stylistically heading into the fight?
I knew that he'd swing wild and hard. It wasn't so much he was pressing forward. I was pressing forward and just pulling his action the whole time and trying to make him miss. It was just, like I said, it was taking my moments early, choosing my moments wisely, working off my jab, making sure it was landing. And he was awkward. He was moving so awkward. He's a slippery fighter. He's beaten some of the top guys in the division. That's why he's been avoided. But, I knew as it went on, that he'd start to fade and I'd start to find my shots, and that's what happened. I heard him a bunch of times in there, and especially towards the end of the fight, and, he hung on, so he was still a live cat at the end of the fight, and I had to be wary of that, but I got it done. There was no doubt in my mind that, I won this fight.
What do you think of
the split decision? I know you break up there, but what do you make of that?
Oh, man, I thought it was crazy. I thought I won 8 rounds to 4, probably, so I thought the last 6 rounds, how do you give him a round out of that, I was going forward, I was hurting him, so it was, I was shocked, so I couldn't believe it, to be honest, so it is what it is, I got the right decision came out, and that's what it is.
What do you think your split decision?
No, I was nervous. I was very nervous, and I think that's a big risk that we have once you're fighting at this level too. Is that the first 6 odd rounds were probably close, but I thought that there were 6 clear rounds that Semi won. So I was very shocked by it, but I know that that's the risk that we take when you're fighting these top guys, is that there's a chance that'll happen. But I really loved how Semi never stopped pushing the pace, especially towards the back end of the fight. He was really getting in amongst it and really pushing the pace, and he well and truly earned that win.
Sam, do you have a time frame of when you want the next fight, the war time?
Look, I don't know. I'll be back in the gym very shortly, so I'll let this cut heal up, but I'll still be working, so I don't know. I want this fight, this year, his next fight, it should be me, so I want to bring him to Wollongong and take those 2 belts off him. I think 3, so not too, looked worse than what it was.
Sam, there was a big section of the crowd tonight that was very much in favour of you. It's you and you won. How much did that mean to you having that fan base there supporting?
Mate, the support base is unreal. They're travelling fans as well. So it's huge. The support I get, it's unrivaled. You know, you hear it out there. The only person who gets more support than me is Timmy Zoo. You know, and look what he's doing. You know, he's a freak. You know, so it's unbelievable the support I get. It always you know blows me away, especially when I look back on these moments. You know, it's hard to take it in when you're thinking about you know the fight at the start, but by the end of it, you know, you're just relishing it. You know, hearing them all go off and all get rowdy. So, mate, I'm looking forward to go sinking a few of them right now.
Maybe there's orders that said you shouldn't do that. What are your thoughts?
Mate, absolutely not. I'm going out and I'm having a few with them, so I'll be doing that tonight, and then I'll be worrying about Marlon Tapalos.
Had you made it back out here by the time Timmy did his work with Tammy, or you still?
No, I was having a shower, got out. Timmy was in the ring, and then it was pretty much over before it started. So, mate, I couldn't even get out there for it.
A lot of footy players skipped to their games today to come off the watch.
Yeah, there was a few missing from Albion Park and Jamboree, but look, it's unfortunately the game couldn't get moved. You know, there's a bit of a shortage on referees in Group 7, so unfortunately we couldn't get that done. But look, I've got massive support base from the footy community down home, and I'm grateful for all the boys that you know showed out today and you know made that bit of a sacrifice. You know, so look, I owe them a few beers tonight. No, I haven't. So hopefully the puck got up.
Another game on Wednesday night, Sammy. Are you hanging around in Queensland for it?
Yeah, absolutely, mate. I'll be there with the friggin' hopefully the Blatchies Blues, you know, supporting the Blues, and hopefully I can see them do it and get up.
George, I was just wondering, as a promoter, could you speak on your pride and the success of an event, having a co-main event that is really a display of high-level boxing, and then a co-main event that delivers both the intensity of the crowd and the performance of Tim Zoo?
Yeah, absolutely. I was stoked with the Gold Coast crowd. Stoked with how everything went tonight. Really, like I was really happy with it, and to see knowing how hard Sam's fight was. The performance that he put on, it was really entertaining, and I know that the crowd got behind him, and obviously the Mad Bunch sets the tone for that, and we're always grateful for the Mad Bunch whenever Sammy fights. So it really made for a great day, and now we've got the rest of the night to celebrate.
You see all the tattoos? All the tattoos. So, mate, there's a few sore heads this morning getting around with tattoos on their chest, their ribs. So,
well, I was wondering, what do they do next once you win the world title? What happens next?
Portraits? I don't know. So, it's crazy. The support I get, it's unreal. So, but a few of them might have some, laser tattoo bookings at the moment. But it's insane. I'm loving the ride. I'm on with No Limit and my team from Complete Boxing. I've got the best team in the game. We're going to the top. There's no two ways about that. So I'm pumped. I'm enjoying every minute of it. And look, my next fight, you're going to see me be a world champion.
Awesome. Well done.